Investigative Reporter Mike Perlstein with some more details as well.
Yeah, Mike, you've had some sourced information here, particularly on the long gun that was found, other information about the suspect.
Right, thanks, Brandon. Mike, I can tell you that, first of all, our thoughts are with all the people impacted, especially the victims of this terrible attack. The police on the scene, both on the ground, responding to the scene, got a lot of information very, very quickly, including some form of long gun, some form of suppressive device, otherwise known as a silencer, as well as either an IED or parts of an IED, an improvised bomb that immediately caused them to alert the FBI. Once the FBI got involved, they very quickly took complete control of this investigation. That's how it stands right now. So there's a bit of a federal lid all the way up to the Department of Justice in Washington, D.C., investigating this as a terrorist attack. That has been confirmed. Obviously, we reported on that earlier. We should be getting a lot more information at the next briefing, which is supposed to be at 11 o'clock, which will be led by the FBI, NOPD, obviously also assisting. Some of the on-the-ground information is leading authorities to look at a more expansive situation, including the possibility of an IED found further up Bourbon Street around Orleans. So they are actively investigating that right now as we speak. We've had a sweep of the Superdome for explosive devices, obviously with a Sugar Bowl set to unfold tonight. That is another grave concern. I can just tell you that with the federal authorities, there's a bit of a lid on the information that we would maybe normally get from our normal NOPD sources, but we do expect that our Police Chief Ann Kirkpatrick, Mayor, and FBI-led press conference at 11 should reveal a lot more of what they have gathered. But I can just say that the initial evidence immediately brought the federal response.
Yeah, I was going to say, and the AG, Merrick Garland, stepped in as well, releasing a statement on behalf of the DOJ saying that all available resources from the federal government will now be tied to this, coming to the city of New Orleans to help with this investigation.
Right, and obviously a big concern are any other follow-ups. Is there an accomplice,
Right.
other IEDs? So right now we're actually working a very, very active crime scene and scenario for whether this person acted alone or with accomplices. All of those questions, we don't have firm answers yet, but we are supposed to hear a lot more. I would just say that the level of alert has actually elevated since this unfolded. Even though things were gathered very quickly, this happened around 3:15 to 3:18. We've seen video actually of the aftermath of the accident and then gunfire immediately breaking out. Police were all over the French Quarter, were able to respond very, very quickly and find these additional pieces of evidence in the white pickup truck.
Right, and you spoke about the potential investigative scene possibly expanding with the potential discovery of a second IED. Again, all fluid here, but I do want to ask, because we did have a couple, we had a city councilman, Freddie King, also State Senator Royce Duplessis, talk about a potential accomplice locally. Have you heard anything about that?
That's not confirmed. We do know that the FBI, as well as NOPD and all law enforcement partners, are looking at that possibility.
Okay.
That's probably the least confirmed. What we do have is an active scene where there's supposedly a second IED along Bourbon. It would fit the profile of a terrorist attack to strike where there would be, I guess, the most people, to strike the most visible target being Bourbon Street, obviously an internationally known area for tourists, especially at major events like New Year's, leading into a Sugar Bowl with many, many visitors and tourists in town for the Sugar Bowl game itself, as well as New Year's. So the profile fits a terrorist attack. Like I said, at 11, we should know at least a little more about the suspect in the truck who was killed, but very much an active investigation on the IEDs on the ground right now at Bourbon and Orleans, number one, as well as the possible involvement of accomplices.
And of course,
possible involvement.
To point out, all we know right now about the suspect is it's a man. That's it.
Yeah, that's all we have really. Male suspect. killed immediately. We were able to confirm, because there's always an chance of suicide, self-inflicted, or something like that. It looks like the police response with gunfire from, I'm told, 4 officers on the ground was immediate. It was, almost instantaneous. They call it neutralize the suspect in police terminology. That is what happened. But they are now able to follow the threads of the truck, where it came from. It had those Texas plates.
Right.
They're able to track, was it rented, purchased, and obviously where the truck might have been seen or spotted on cameras going from Texas into Louisiana. A lot of big open questions.
Sure.
We hope to be getting some answers to those. The federal authorities are controlling the flow of information, obviously in conjunction with the boots on the ground, which would be NOPD, state police, and all the other law enforcement agencies. Interesting that the bomb squad has moved in full force. That's the NOPD bomb squad, as well as the bomb experts from FBI, as well as ATF, alcohol, tobacco, and firearms.
Just really shows the amount of resources that are being put into this. And
Massive.
we're just 7 hours into this, and we've already gotten this amount of information.
Yeah, and expect, from what I'm hearing, that this is likely to become, a bigger and more involved story as we get more information. That's why we're so eagerly awaiting the next briefing, tentatively scheduled for 11 o'clock at police headquarters.
All right.
All right, Mike Perlstein, thank you so much. Investigative reporter Mike Perlstein.